Shalom, 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 Yasharal, and to the 12 tribes of Israel. I hope you all are doing exceptionally well. And hey, to the Gentiles that are following after Yahweh in righteousness. Hey to y'all. Welcome to my channel. So I'm glad that you guys enjoyed my take on the Plain Jane versus Pretty Girl, the so-called Pretty Girl. I gave a little insight on that video. Now, the funny thing, y'all, I'm going to elaborate on the so-called Pretty Girl's response because she's made like 3 other videos. So I will try to find the 3 other videos if I can't put them in the video, like, because I'm trying to get this video out to, you know, talk about what she said. But if you saw what she said in her 3 videos, tell me in the comment section below. But so yeah, I will, if I can find them, like the original TikTok links, or if somebody has reposted it on YouTube, I will surely put them either in the description box or my comment section, you guys. And if you guys happen to know who has the original link to her 3 responses, because she did like 3 or 4, maybe 3 responses to the internet, basically giving her kind of pushback or backlash about what she said. Now, if you missed what she said in her first video, her question was, why is it that men cuff the Plain Jane? Now, ladies, let me state this. I am not calling anybody a Plain Jane, and I'm not coming for anybody that's a pretty girl, okay? I'm just using the verbiage that she has used in that video. So, just so we have a little clarity on that. Now, her definition of the Plain Jane is the woman that does not go out, the woman that stays in, the woman that does not frequently get her hair done. And to me, I'm going to tell you this. I don't constitute not putting extensions in your hair as not getting your hair done. Because there's some women that wear their hair natural, but they do care for their natural hair. So she's describing herself, she has the human hair lace front wig on. She has the faux nails, the eyelashes. The eyelashes was like mad crooked, okay? The makeup and all of that. So when she described the Plain Jane, she described them as the woman that does not get their hair done, that does not wear the fake nails, then don't do the makeup, and she's talking about, they don't do fashion. And I have to beg to differ with that, because every woman has a different type of style. And Plain Jane, because in my mind, what she's describing as Plain Jane is really the classy woman versus the woman that kind of has the and that look, that IG baddie type of look, that does all the extra. The woman that has the IG inspired makeup, the wigs, it's just like classy versus kind of like female rapper looking chick. You get what I'm saying? Because most of these women who they have that look, they're going after that baddie IG archetype. Okay, that's what they're going for. This is why they do the colorful wigs, the nails, and all of that stuff. And as I stated many times before, I'm not coming for women that do that. If you do that, that's your business. I'm just here to give you the information, to give you the information spiritually on why that stuff is no good for you, and why that's keeping you from getting stuff that you actually want out of life. Because that ultimately was her question, why she was not getting chosen, or why do the pretty girls not get the same level of respect. Because she mentioned that the girls that are Plain Jane, they get married, they get cuffed, the dudes do everything for them, they treat them like the queens that they are. Which you guys know, if you follow my channel, I do not call women queens, and I give you the spiritual breakdown of why I do not call women queens and the full definition of what a queen is and why, right? So in our society, just to give you a little short, if you want to know why I don't call women queens, check my video out, Women Are Not Queens or Mermaids. Check that video out for the spiritual implications on why I don't call women queens, okay? I'll let a man call me an empress. He could call me his princess. He could call me a king. He could call me any of those things, right? But you're not gonna call me a queen. And if you want to know why, go and check that video out. It'll give you the full breakdown. So in our society, women have been indoctrinated to do beautification rituals that are counterproductive to their true femininity. This is why I told you in the Truth About Weave and Makeup video that you notice that when women put on makeup, they tend to look a little bit more masculine. And then the people, like how, there's men that are makeup artists and they put on makeup, right? When they put on makeup, it has the counter, reaction for them to look more feminine. That's because the history of makeup, a lot of this beautification ritual stuff women do today was not designed for women. And this is why nothing is new under the sun, baby. Let me tell you that. It's nothing new under the sun. Everything that has happened in the ancient time is replaying. They just reinvented with a new label on it. And I give you the breakdown of how that makeup is no good for women. And it never was intended for you. It was taught to women by the fallen ones. And men are behind a lot of these so-called fashions that this young lady is speaking of from the video, Plain Jane versus, the Plain Jane and why they get cuffed and for the so-called pretty girls. So in her 3 responses, let me give you the gist of what she was saying. Basically, she, obviously she was upset because people was coming for her like, who classified you as a so-called pretty girl? You got all this makeup on and weave and the rest of this stuff. So she got up there and I guess she tried to take the makeup off. But she still had makeup on because weave and nails and the rest and lashes is still considered makeup. Because I guess she was getting pushed back for that. So she tried to, take the makeup off, I guess, her skin and her eyes. Then on top of that, she was saying that, people was mad that she told the truth and that they didn't give her an opportunity before the video went viral to talk about the part 2 that she wanted to share. She was saying that the part 2 would have been, okay, well, the dudes, they cuffed the Plain Janes, but she's saying in her reality, the Plain Janes get cheated on with the woman that looked like her. And that's why those women, I guess, they're saying that those women are winning. I even had a person in my comment section talking about the dudes cheat on the Plain Janes with exotics like her or whatever. And I'm just like, ma'am, let me tell you something. I did a video on why promiscuity, why those women don't get taken serious by men. And scientifically, men, when they view those women with that specific type of uniform, okay, with all the additives and the rest of this stuff, those women do not get taken serious. Those men in their mind, they do not view the women that dress, because she mentioned the lady that did the Plain Jane versus the pretty girls, us pretty girls type chick. She said, the men cheat with women that don't wear a lot of clothes and the rest of that stuff. But if you go to my video, it's a lady talking about scientists did a study and men who view scantily clad women, they view them in the same part of their brain as tools. So I'm not laughing because it's not funny. A lot of women, they think to get a man, you remove clothing or you got to put a weave on or you got to do this. And it's not true because they did a study and the women who were more modestly dressed, the men viewed them as actual human beings. Go check the video out. Like, I ain't finna argue with nobody because I'm like, ma'am, you're literally saying that the Plain Jane is achieving commitment and all of the stuff where they're being shown value. Because just because somebody will cheat or slide with you, that in my mind is equivalent to somebody that is willing to, because this is what the men do, right? The woman that they have a commitment to is holding all the cards, right? So more than likely, if they are cheating, right, or they're lured by witchcraft or whatever, because that's ultimately, a lot of women don't understand that a lot of men who get lured by witchcraft, or Delilahs, Jezebels, they're dealing with witchcraft. And the ultimate reality after that happens is that the man ends up being repulsed and wants to eliminate the side piece. Okay? That's how that goes. The Most High told you how the end of the story is for the Delilahs and the Jezebels. He told you how the end of the story is. He said you're going to do all of that vanity, because I talked about that scripture. I'll put it on the screen. You're going to do all of that vanity, and it's going to profit you nothing. And your lovers will despise thee. They will seek after thy life. So you have never seen no side chick with no true successful story. And ultimately, you also going to get the penalties that come from adultery and the rest of that stuff that happens in the Torah, right? You're never gonna, let me just state this. You're never gonna sin and then ride off into the sunset. Ride off into the sunset without there being any consequences, okay? But also in those videos, because the girl also said this, she said the plain Janes seem to be getting manipulated by their men, because the men tell them, oh, they don't want them to go outside, they don't want them to do all of that, and they're doing all of that and they're cheating with them. But cheating, because these women don't have an understanding that a man can literally get one off with a chick and not feel anything for her. Like, there are some men who are set up like that, right? Then there's some men that they don't even want to go there with you at all if you present yourself a certain way. Like, I feel like a lot of women try to box men into this one box. All men are not cheaters. Even certain men that do cheat have different reasons for why they're cheating and different stuff like that. But the whole point that she should realize is, who would want to be a side piece instead of being a wife? Like, ilk. Like, okay, so, but anyway, I told y'all, I'm about to tell y'all who's really winning and who's really getting manipulated, right? So these females, I told y'all, because she mentioned fashions, trends, all of that stuff, that it's men behind the imagination of a lot of this stuff. Bikinis designed by men, makeup originally meant for men, because you know, men typically, they were the only ones allowed in theater, and they would play the women roles too, right? Initially, right? The history of things, because you got to go, everything that you do, go back to the origin of how things started, on why you do things, right? That's how you get understanding of what is really going on. So when you get to the history of things like high heels, all that stuff, if you're a woman that you think make you feminine, has nothing to do with your femininity. Absolutely nothing. Okay, when I tell you this, it's going to be a shocker for a lot of women when I say this. That stuff was not originally designed for you. And the Most High has been telling these women what is his expectations and what is going to get you the best outcome. Like, what is going to get you married, what is going to get you the best family life, what's going to get you the praise and stuff, right? What's going to get you the attention that you really want, because you don't really want the negative attention that's coming from some of these negative fashion trends. There's nothing wrong with fashion and wanting to look nice and the rest of this stuff. You just have to be mindful of the origins of some of this stuff, right? And I'm gonna tell you off the bat, the weave, the nails, the makeup, some high heels, bikinis, all that stuff came from the wicked imagination of perverse men. Whether, you know, it started from the fallen ones and it was given unto men, and then that's when they started showing women how to get into this stuff, right? So remember when I told y'all a lot of these women, because she said Plain Janes is getting manipulated. No, baby, Plain Janes is living the true reality that Abba Yah has set forth for his daughters, right? You don't got to have somebody else's DNA on your head. Embrace your own, right? Even if you're going through, situations of hair loss, still don't put nobody else's DNA on your head. Still don't put nobody else's curses or burdens on your head, or nobody else's evil sacrifices on your head. Wear your own nails. Let your nails get some oxygen, right? Let your nails breathe. All this stuff that they're doing, fashion trends that they're doing, come from the Marine Kingdom. And they cause these women to be inducted into the wicked Marine Kingdom. And so now those, seducing spirits, familiar spirits, the spirit of Leviathan, all of them spirits that is attached to that stuff, that Jezebelic spirit and all that's attached to that stuff, now them spirits is wreaking havoc on their lives. And they doing all this, and they wondering why they can't get a man, why their finances is not in order. No, you paying tribute to other gods. You paying tribute to other gods. Because people, I'm going to tell you something that the Most High Yah been really showing me over these past couple of years. People will pay tribute to him with their mouth, but in their actions, they don't listen to what he say. He said, if you love me, you will keep thy commandments, right? You will keep my commandments. I meant to say not thy, my. You will keep my commandments. That's what he said. Love is a sacrifice. So if you're in a relationship with somebody and they come and tell you, like, right, because that's our relationship, the marriage covenant with Abba Yah, that's our relationship with him, right? If he tell you, I feel like you cheating on me when you doing all of this with all these other gods, I want you to just serve me. We in a marriage covenant. I don't want you serving those other gods. Don't make no gold, bronze calves. Don't put no daggone eyeliner on that's dedicated to Horus. Don't do none of that. I don't want you doing none of that. Don't do none of it, right? I don't want you doing none of it. We're going to celebrate the Shabbat on this day. I want you to rest. Don't do no work. Don't do nothing. Worship me, right? These are the outlines of what I need for it to be a successful relationship between me and you, right? You don't listen to none of that. You say, I'm gonna give you half of my love. I'm halfway in, I'm halfway out. That's the lukewarm, right? So imagine you let's say you even in an earthly relationship like that, right? If you'll do that to Abba Yah being the supreme one. So you'll do that to him. Imagine how you acting in your earthly relationship where you like, I know you said you want this and this is what you like, but I'm going to just do this. This is what a lot of these women and a lot of these men are doing, right? So I tell you, all these fashion trends, the archetype is deities and goddesses or the fallen ones. They gave this stuff to men, and then the wicked, perverse imagination of men crafted this stuff and then gave this to women. So remember when I told y'all the other day, I believe it was either on my promiscuous, talking about the promiscuous women, why they're not winning. And I mentioned that a lot of them are trying to replicate these female rappers. And the example that I used was Lil' Kim and B.I.G., right? And I said, y'all remember in the movie Notorious B.I.G. where Biggie was there and he was telling Lil' Kim, no, you need to say it like this. You need to be raunchy and get nasty with it. That's what he was telling her. So I said a lot of these women, right, behind them is the wicked imagination of a perverse man. Guess who else said it? Guess who confirmed, who from the industry confirmed exactly what I said? Jaguar Wright, honey, confirmed what I said. And this is going to be a pure example of why so-called pretty girls, because a lot of them, like I said, they craft their archetype after these female entertainers, right? They want to look like the female rappers. That's why you see them. Who was the first one with the color wigs? Who was the first one with the color wigs? It was Kim. Kim, I know you see me on it. It was Kim, right? Who was the first one that was dropping down low in her pictures like Kali and all that, like them other deities, like Kali and all them other deities over there? The Hindu, is it Hindu? Y'all leave me, if y'all, whoever know, leave it in the comment section, because I know it's so many of them from the Hindu practices over there. But a lot, like I said, a lot of this stuff come from worshiping of other gods, right? They just try to make it seem like it's a fashion style. So let me pull this up, because Jaguar Wright, she literally gonna say what I said to y'all. All right, so Jaguar Wright, it says this is a video on Real Life Productions. Jaguar Wright exposes Saweetie's millions of fans only buying 1% of her music. Calls male ghostwriters PIMPs. And I told y'all, a lot of men today, they're mad at the women and the state of the land, right? But what did Abaya say? He said, do not prostitute thy daughters, right? You understand what I'm saying? Don't pro your daughters, lest the whole land fall at WH-doms, right? That's what's happening. So it's a lot of men, they get up online and they come for these female entertainers, which they have their role to play on the culture and stuff that's being pushed, because they're essentially like the face of it. But behind it is the wicked imagination of a man. Like, just think about it. Just think about it as a woman. Just think about it, right? You thinking that, oh yeah, this is it. And this is the whole reason why, because you thinking that this is femininity and you're thinking that this is female empowerment, and baby, you ain't empowered about nothing. You just following after wicked men. That's why I tell women, make sure you know the word for yourself, man, because there's a lot of wicked men out here. And not all men, because all men ain't pushing this stupidity and this foolishness, but you got a lot of wicked men that is. I told y'all about the music, how when they was out here, bees ain't ish, but HOEs and tricks. Why you think these ladies is running around talking about and then get some money? You presented yourself as a trick. Now you want to be mad that the women saying they want to get some money off it. Okay, hold on.
All of these women are out here buying into all of this shit. And I was talking about this the other day on my live. All of these women are out here buying into all of this shit that all of these bitches are saying is being written by a dude.
All right, so you heard what she said on that one part. Let me skip past that because I don't want to get no copyright, y'all. But I will leave a link to this video.
Like, as far as
period. I mean, is it? How many records does Saweetie sell? That bitch got 80 million followers and she sold 2,000 fucking things.
Yeah. I was gonna lean more towards Glorilla. And
I'm not very familiar with her.
Okay, let me skip past that because they're talking about Glorilla, but all of the usual suspects that the men, you notice in the manosphere, talk about.
Big blow up.
She's talking
about rapper until Rhapsody get her fucking flowers. Happened 3 years ago. Let's just keep it all the way 100. All of the hottest female rappers are all ex-strippers.
Yeah, that seems to be the brand.
All extra.
So think about what she's saying. All of the new up and coming female, they all have that same archetype, right? So even though, you know, the blueprint was Kim, obviously, even though that's not initially the type of time from what we've seen, that's not what Kim was initially on, right? Like Kim, the way a lot of the people that I've seen interviews, they say, you know, she just was, you know, a nice girl from around the neighborhood. And then, you know, obviously if you're from New York, you're going to be a little rough around the edges, okay? I'm not here to judge or condone any behavior and all the rest of this stuff. I'm just getting to the point to bring the educative part about it. Biggie kind of molded her into the fantasy girl that every dude wanted to kind of get one off on, okay? You get what I'm saying? Just think about it. Just think about it for a second.
Yeah. Or they
and
build
let's keep it all the way 100. They don't write their rhymes, allegedly.
Nah, they don't build their bodies either. They just all come put together.
Let's keep it.
How many female entertainers that you hear that these so-called pretty girls model themselves after, right? Where they, you know, they get signed and all of a sudden you start seeing You know, they got all of the BBL and the fake attributes. But they wasn't like that before they got signed. But then when they get signed, all these fake attributes, and this is all presented on Instagram and in the videos. And then you got the so-called pretty girls trying to replicate this because they thinking that these women is winning. And then a lot of these women that you see be going from man to man to man to man to man to man to man, not landing commitment, man to man to man. It's just real.
Hey, this is playing make-believe at its highest level.
Oh, yeah.
Meanwhile, there's real MCs, female MCs that are writing their shit.
And why are they not pushing these real women MCs that was really empowering women, really saying, you know, respectful things about being a woman and really doing what we're kind of commanded to do in Torah, which is teach. We're supposed to be teaching, like, especially if you're an older woman, you're supposed to teach the younger ones how they're supposed to present themselves as a woman and how they're supposed to act as a woman. That's the goal, right? But they don't, you notice that, you know, they're not pushing, you know, the Lauryn Hills. They're not pushing, like she said, the Rhapsodies and people that are actually real female MCs. They're not pushing those type of girls. They pushing this low vibrational, low frequency type of girl. And really, we have to take a deeper examination and a look. Who is benefiting off of these females being in this low position? Like, who's benefiting from that?
Like, I would even appreciate it if they would let the real talented female MCs and ghostwrite for these bitches. But the women ain't ghostwriting they shit. It's niggas.
Yeah, it's the niggas.
Niggas is writing this bitch's shit.
Hey, man.
And I was talking about...
So all the little nasty FREAKY stuff these women is saying, because think about it, dudes is gonna know all the little nasty stuff they think about in their mind, all the little perverse stuff that they think in their mind. They're gonna know what it is, right? Just think about what the whole film, I'm gonna call it the film industry. It's dudes sitting there and they're thinking every little, this is why the Most High Yah said you're supposed to cast down vain imaginations, right? And bring all your thoughts into the obedience and the captivity of King Yehoshua, right? Because if you just let your mind wander, it start getting into wicked activity. It says the heart is wickedly deceitful. Who could know it? So you got these women, they're looking up to these so-called pretty girls, right? And when I say so-called pretty girls, I'm only using that because that's what the young lady from the video used, right? I'm only using that because that's what she used, right? Because we know that you could be beautiful being who you actually are, who the Most High Yah created you to be, right? You don't need all the additives to be beautiful. That's just something that you're choosing to do. And like I said, I'm not putting down any women that's choosing to do that, because most women that are choosing to do that, they don't have the education or they don't know the origin story behind that. They're living in Babylon. That's what's pushed. That's what they're told in the media is beautiful. And so that's what they're going with.
This the other day on my live. All of these women are out here buying into all of the shit that all of these bitches are saying that's being written by a dude.
So who's really getting manipulated here? Who's really getting manipulated? She said Plain James is getting manipulated. Plain James is not out here buying BBLs. They not out here saying, they in the street. They not out here singing F-art. They're not out here doing that. They're not out here with the thick batarang lashes and nails. They're not out here. They're not out here with all that.
This is a dude's perspective on how a woman should be talking, and then the other women listen to her and be like, "Ooh, that's how she talking. That's how I'm talking, girl. Yeah, girl."
That is how these girls on the so-called pretty girls side be acting. If you notice that archetype, because listen, these are not my label classifications. I just want y'all to know that. I just want to state that again, right? Because a person could be beautiful either way you go, okay? But the women that this girl is portraying herself as is clearly the archetype of these female entertainers. It really is what it is. Telling you.
Hold on.
Oh, fuck with it. You know what I mean? Like, we all over here. But meanwhile, all of these words came from a man.
Yeah.
So how is that real female empowerment? If the words came from a man and his nasty, wicked imagination, and like I said, fellas, this is not all of y'all, because some of y'all is disgusted by the stuff that be coming out via these female entertainers. But this is who the archetype that these women are modeling their look after, their verbiage after, some of them. Okay, not all women, but some of them. And this the ghost right behind it is wicked, perverse men.
Who the fuck's power and who? I don't call that empowerment. I call that impimpment.
Impimpment. New word. Urban Dictionary. Write it down. Cosign.
You ain't empowering shit. This nigga is spitting old fucking pimp shit and juicing it up and putting a bitch word here there. You spitting it out on his behalf. Like, for real, when you look at it, these ghostwriters is pimps and the artists are they bottom bitches.
Listen, didn't I say this a couple of days ago? Did I not tell y'all this a couple of days ago? Real recognize real, and you could see through the fake stuff, right? So the men, they up here, oh, modern women, some of them, right? Not realizing that you need to be somewhere looking at some of these dudes that's influencing these women, because women follow the leader, right? So men being out of order means that if the head out of order, then the body gonna be out of order. You understand? This is what she's saying. It's not, men, they complain about the feminist movement. Who was really behind that? They complain about the modern girl woman movement. Who's really behind that?
You paint it just moved to the rap, I guess, because you paint a very interesting picture there.
I mean, seriously.
Oof.
Whoever's fitting the game, whoever's writing.
Hey.
It's a fact. It's a fact. Party.
Whoever's writing the game is running the game.
And they all strippers.
Yeah.
And all of them are still just trying to be Little Kim.
That's a fact. Hey, so I got a question.
Did King Brittany Chanel tell y'all this a minute ago? That they all trying to be Lil' Kim, and the mastermind behind the whole risque was B.I.G.?
Who was a figment of Biggie Smalls' imagination, blown to life.
Yeah. So as a woman, right, coming up, like I remember you said, don't do it as an artist. But what do you think this is gonna do for the future female?
All right, I'm gonna just stop that there. But if you have not, y'all could go and see Jaguar Wright over there on it's Real Life Productions, where she interviewed with them. And like I said, I told y'all this. I said the women, they think that they really, winning with this whole promiscuous look, the whole archetype of the video vixen, the BBL, all that, men, okay? Like what they would imagine women to be like. And because women, I'm gonna tell you, all they really want is to be accepted, love, and affection and attention, right? And so the women, they start doing this competition stuff with each other for attention and stuff like that. And this is what this Plain Jane versus so-called pretty girl thing is, because they've been told their whole life they have to be this beauty standard and this archetype, and they're not getting results from that archetype. Because I'm going to tell you something, because if somebody else put a comment in my thing, well, what if you doing all that and you did get married? Okay, well, then there's this. This is exactly what she's saying. However you get a man is how you will keep or lose that man, right? So if you attracted, let's say the girl who is in this archetype, she does get married. Do you know that it's a such thing as spirit spouse, that they will bring havoc to your marriage? So let's say you attracted your husband with seduction and sensuality and all that stuff, and you the makeup, the hair, all that stuff, or whatever, the witchcraft, sorcery behind that marine spirited stuff. That man, because he was attracted by wickedness, is now going to be having that wandering eye, because you're not the only one that has that look, right? Righteous women are rare gems, right? Virtuous women are rare gems. That is really what the plain Jane is. They're modest, they're virtuous, classy, elegant, timeless. They're not a trend, right? You don't really find, it's like a diamond in the rough. I don't even want to use diamonds, because diamonds really don't hold no value. But they're a rarity, right? And then you have the trends. I'm gonna tell you this. I was watching an interview that Gloria Velez did, and if you don't know who Gloria Velez is, she is a video model, what you would call a video vixen. And she gave the account of how she felt like, Pac saved her life. And she said, like, in her interview, let me know if y'all watched that interview. She said that in the interview, like, in the industry, like, it was a moment where the rationalization for them trying to come for her, if you get what I'm saying, is they said, honey, these beautiful type chicks come a dime a dozen. It's nothing special about them. That's exactly how a lot of these industry dudes think. So you running after an archetype, all these women, same BBL, same makeup, same weave, same look, and you don't stand out from any of them. So now you're wondering why you're not getting the results. Okay, so yeah, you might get a dude to cheat, but are you gonna get a dude to stay? Who's really getting manipulated here? Who's really getting played here? Who's really up and who's really not? You have to think about it. You feel what I'm saying? And this is not for all of the women who wear weave, makeup, and the rest of that stuff. Because like I said, some of the women, they don't have this thought process that this young lady has. You know what I'm saying? Some of the women, they just have, like I said, they've been taught to do these beauty rituals or beautification rituals. And it's just something that's a part of their everyday life that they just don't even think about, right? But I'm sure now that they're asking a question, that could be Abaya, using the opportunity as a moment to uplift and to educate so that they could get the results that they want. Some of them probably want to be a wife. In order to be a wife and you want to attract a righteous man, you cannot do that with seduction. You just can't. You don't have to worry about your man being a cheater and an adulterer if you attracted him in a righteous fashion, because you're going to stand out being virtuous and righteous, while this woman who presents like this, she has a bunch of competition because they all look the same. So the same big BBL that swayed him, it's one over there. So he's looking over there. He's looking over there. He's looking this way. You know what I'm saying? So I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Y'all want me to talk about that BBL and the spiritual implications of that? That video is coming. Trust and believe. And I will see y'all soon on the next video. Thanks so much for watching. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And to all of my new subscribers, thank y'all so much for taking out the time to subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate y'all. Let me know in the comment section below if there's anything that you have seen via TikTok or you thought was crazy that could be similar to this topic that y'all want me to build on. Leave it in the comment section below. I would greatly appreciate it. And thank y'all once again for subscribing to my channel. See y'all soon.